welcome to Krampus and Kerosene, a actual play 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons podcast. We are bringing you a special Storycast episode, much like we did for our Halloween before we entered the Halloween arc. We are now going to do a Christmas arc, and to spice it up a little bit, we're going to change the Game Master. Lee will be running the game for December, and I will be playing a character within the world. So I hope you enjoy this little Storycast that we have set up before, and we would like to thank everybody that took part in this. And if you want to know more about those folks, stay tuned to the end and look on our social medias. Great group of folks. So sit back and take a listen to Christmas with Krampus.
A plain, dark tower rises far above a vast and dense forest. A storm of dark clouds, spilling flurries of ice, twists around the monolith and blows a blanket of snow over the surrounding trees. A lone figure looks out over the scene from a window carved out near the very top of the tower. Magnus, the red and golden dragonborn, turns to the inside of the tower to view the dimly glowing controls within. Megan, a shorter girl with the dark hair, is sitting with her feet propped up on the table, idly watching the many glass tubes and twisting cables.
Put your feet down. You're supposed to be working.
But there's nothing happening right now.
The next overlay should be soon, and it looks like the Exodus team is on the move again.
Really? They actually made it out of that place, huh? I wonder where they're going next.
I'm sure they're wondering the very same thing. Why don't we give them a little nudge in the right direction?
All right, let's get to work then.
Megan spins around in her chair and taps on the large circle of clear glass that lights up and shows a display with a prompt to enter new code. There is no need to open a list. She knows these names well.
Same start every year, but always an exciting ending.
Types in /St. Nicholas, /Krampus. 2 glass tubes light up. One a bright warm gold with a sparkling snowflakes. The other a deep blue swirled with smoke.
Not so many fun characters like Halloween, huh?
No. This one is more about the players.
The bottom of a great mountain, a cramped cave is carved under the rock. The inside is lined with rough hides and littered with soft feathers. Bits of bones stick up from the downy carpeting, surrounding a crude fireplace with a dented pot hanging from the low roof. From a corner of this cave, a rolling blue smoke appears, flowing through the chamber and out the entrance. A massive furred figure materializes in front of the fireplace. Its wicked curled horns not quite scraping the ceiling. It glances around, observes its sudden but familiar surroundings.
Here again. It must be time.
The beast scratches around under the pot, bunching together the sticks and brushing away the old soot. With a wave of their clawed hand, a fire begins to crackle. It burns weakly, but lights the corners of the cave. Piled here are thin bundles of twigs and sacks of crumbling coal.
Yes, it is time. The rotted, the coal. Yes, it is here, the time. Yes, but not this time.
The beast lumbers over to the supplies and snatches up a bundle, carrying it over to the crackling fire.
The time. Yes, but not this time. This time will be new.
They hold the sticks to the fire, causing the flame to grow into a bright light, illuminating its horrible face. Sharp teeth curl into a smile around a thin forked tongue as they gaze into the fire.
This time, I will be new.
The watchers in the tower witnessed the scene unfold on the glass monitor.
Huh, that's different. Have they done that before?
Well, it's hard to understand it.
I'm pretty sure I know exactly what he's saying. I wonder what he's up to this time.
I will not pretend to know the intentions of a demon.
A demon? That may be a stretch. They're much older than the idea of demons, you know.
Just because there wasn't a word for demons doesn't mean they weren't around. There are many things we do not understand, and bringing things into this world does not make it less complicated.
You're not wrong there.
Megan taps on the glass again, and a new scene begins to fade into view. At the top of a great mountain, a cozy home is carved into the rock. It is dark inside, but through the window we see a well-kept wooden furniture, generously adorned with pillows and puffed blankets. The shelves are crowded with old books and small toys and folded letters. Pictures line the wall, showing a jovial old man hugging and shaking hands with smiling children and townfolks. A massive stone fireplace dominates the main room, and oddly enough, a pillow sits under the flue. Shimmering gold snowflakes begin to billow from the mantel, and down onto the pillow plops an older fellow in a crimson overcoat. He shakes the soot from his thick white beard and stands up, picking up the cushion too and placing it on an overstuffed armchair.
Ho, ho, ho. Glad I put that there last year. I'll have to remember to do that again. Now, let's get this place brightened up a bit.
The man bustles around the fireplace and whips it into a roaring fire. The room is filled with a warm light, and the windows glow a comforting gold light on the inside of the mountain. Nicholas sets a tea kettle on a rack above the fire and fills it with the water from a silver pitcher.
There we go. That should warm right up.
The man busies himself opening a tea bag and setting it in a tall ceramic mug. The kettle begins to whistle, and he carefully removes it from the fire and pours over the tea. He walks over to a windowed cabinet full of fine glass bottles containing various spirits. He selects one and pours a generous portion into the mug, chuckling to himself.
Yes, that should put me into the Christmas spirit.
Megan rolls her eyes and looks incredulously at the screen.
This guy? What's his deal? Being so cheery all alone in that house?
I don't think he knows any other way to be. You do not scorn Krampus for being angry in a dark place. Why question his joy in a comfortable place?
I don't know. He just rubs me the wrong way.
Have you ever met him?
No, I've never made it out to the town. Wintervale? Kind of out of the way.
Well, I have.
Of course you have.
I have been there, and I have met Saint Nicholas. I can tell you that just as Krampus has a presence that will set fear in your bones, the saint has an aura sure to put you at ease. You cannot help but be joyous around him.
Huh. Maybe I should get out there sometime then. I sure could use a break.
Can't we all?
Megan swipes over the screen, switching back to the view of the cave. Krampus steps outside of the cave, holding the torch in front of them. There's a blanket of snow that covers the rocky ground, and all is silent. The beast lumbers down the side of the mountain, its cloven feet crunching in the fresh snow, and it seems they are searching for something. Its horrible clawed hand scratches along the rock's face as it moves until it catches onto a long, thin crack that opens into a craggy hole at the base of the ground. They crouch down and peer into the hole, brushing snow out of the way to crawl inside.
Yes. Here we will build. Here we can find friends.
The torch lights up the walls of a narrow hall that opens into a small cavern with a rickety bridge passing overhead. A squat figure quickly stands up on the bridge, looking down at the approaching beast.
Hey, who's that? You can't be in here!
The goblin reaches for a crude spear but stops at the sound of a fly.
I am the Mountain Lord. I am Krampus. I have come to collect your debts.
Debts? I've got no debts. What do you want?
You squat in my caves, use my food. I own this all, and I will take it.
Krampus begins to grow taller, their fur bristling out, and their neck and legs stretching its face upwards, closer to the goblin. A look of fearsome recognition comes over the goblin's face.
Yeah, Krampus. Of course we can do whatever. I just had to be sure it was you. Of course.
I will know your leader. We will talk. There are many things to talk about.
Of course. Right this way, sir.
The two creatures walk further into the cave, disappearing into the torch-lit hallways beyond. Megan is laughing while trying to see more of the goblin cave in the glass screen.
I guess that's all we got for now. Man, I thought that goblin was gonna piss himself for a moment.
Krampus is fearsome indeed. There is not much a single goblin can do to fight him.
No, I imagine not. I wonder what they're doing with goblins. That should be interesting.
Interesting indeed.
Well, let's check on St. Nick, too, and make sure that takes off smoothly as well.
Nicholas takes a long drink from his mug of steaming grog and walks over to an ancient-looking telephone affixed on the wall. He stares at it for a bit, taking sips and checking his golden wristwatch as he does. After a couple minutes, it rattles out a ring, making the man jump a little and chuckle to himself. Nicholas picks up the earpiece and leans in to speak.
Oh, you gave me a little fright there, old pal.
Same time every year. You would think we'd be used to it by now.
Of course. But it is so quiet up here. We should look into something for next year. Maybe a gramophone?
I'm sure I can find something for you, sir. I'll bet I can get you a nice iPod that you can fill with any music you want.
No. I don't want any of that newfangled techno junk. I want to stay old-fashioned out here. You know that.
Yeah, maybe a Zoom then. Anyways, we'll have the shop all set up for you tomorrow. You can just take it tonight, and we'll see you in the morning.
No problem. I think I can handle that for you. Good night, friend.
Nicholas hangs up the phone and walks over to the fire, stoking it for a bit before settling down into his armchair. Next to him, a large red leather-bound book sits on an end table, which he picks up and begins to flip through the pages. The first few flash by, depicting a dreary cave and a snowy mountaintop and a shadowy figure. Then an old phone, much like the one on the wall behind him. He stops on a detailed picture of himself sitting in his armchair, just as he is now, and looking into the fire.
Yes, here we are, all according to plan so far, same as every year.
He turns the page to show a picture of a busy workshop full of gnomes with tall hats, and then another page. This one does not have such a happy sight. Nicholas is shown asleep in bed, with a dark figure looming behind him.
Yes, I suppose that is to be expected as well, but no worries. I'm sure I will have nothing to fear, as the brave adventurers will come to my aid, as always.
He turns the page again to show 4 figures, withered in light, fending away the darkness. Nicholas smiles at this image and takes another sip from the mug. In the distance, a bone-chilling roar rumbles from under the mountain, scattering birds from the surrounding trees. Nicholas jumps in his seat and spills from his drink a bit, then looks out the window with surprised worry in his eyes.
Well, that's new.
Hey, we hope you enjoyed this little story that we put together for Crumpets and Kerosine's Christmas arc. If you're looking to download us, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, and all major platforms. You can also follow us on social media, on our Twitter at Crumpets_time. Instagram is at Crumpets and Kerosene, one word. Facebook, Crumpets and Kerosene. And we even have a YouTube, Crumpets and Kerosene. So go ahead and check us out. If you'd like to participate, we could always use character, town, or even encounter names. Email us at crumpetsandkerosene@gmail.com, all one word. Or you can leave a review and a rating on Apple Podcast, and we'll make sure to get your name at the end of an episode. If you'd like to know more about the characters or the players, look at some merch, we have a website now at www.crumpetsandkerosene.com, all one word. We'd also like to give a special thanks to everyone that participated in this storycast. Without their help, we wouldn't have a show. The voice of the narrator was Victoria Jacobson. The voice of Magnus Graves and Nicholas Krampus was played by Jason Daly. The voice of Megan Moon was played by Jackie Chapman. St. Nicholas was played by Austin Baldwin. Anthony the Gnome was played by Bryce Jacobson. Jameson the Goblin was played by Taylor Bentley. We'd also like to thank Iron Heed for our intro-outro music. It is a remix of their song Hero from the album Enter the Dungeon. The song is called Queen's Cuts. Thank you, everybody. Happy holidays, and we hope you have an amazing December.